guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Battlestar Galactica. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 15 of season 2 of Battlestar Galactica. The last couple episodes, we kind of got a big turnaround from President Roslin, definitely health-wise. But mindset-wise, she's really charging forward being president and really wanting to make decisions and really kind of seize control over a lot of stuff. And I think that that's kind of a normal thing for a president to do. Like their main duty is to be a public servant and to bring things to order. But I don't know if you can do that with 50,000 people in a fleet of ships. Now she's trying to control the black market, which I agree with Lee, like you really can't, but you might as well try to, have some sort of pressure and some sort of control without stifling. You kind of almost have to let there be the business of trade, whether it's through you or not. And you kind of have to accept that. I don't know if that's the end of that story necessarily. But I do think that before her and Lee were kind of in an agreeable position, and now it kind of feels like she might be at odds with both him and Admiral Adama. I don't know if she's a completely changed person now that she's healed, or if there's still things that I'm going to like about her. Like, I do like that she was very direct with Gaius, direct enough that she was like, hey, I'm giving you an out. You can resign. He's never really wanted the presidency. He was kind of forced into, running to be vice president anyway. And, he was always jittery and kind of nutso when it came to big decisions. And even Admiral Adama was like, hey, get it together. You're going to be president. And I think he knows, one, that, he can't necessarily trust Rosalind. And I get that. He doesn't know that she knows about him and Six. Or, she's not going to say those words, but she's going to probably put out the picture and be like, hey, who's this? Not Shelley Godfrey. And I saw you guys making out on Caprica. So I am of sound mind these days. I remember. The thing with the weapon that he gave Six on Cloud 9, I just don't see him wanting to really get along with her, going along with her, agreeing with her about really anything. And we kind of got a new Gaius, like standing up to Lee and be very confident in that and not have Six behind him while he's doing it. Is kind of wild. Like normally Head Six is there egging him on, and she was kind of there with Rosalind. But then when he is like saying the whole thing about like, I didn't want to be vice president. Now it's the only thing I want. Six wasn't there saying that behind him, and Six wasn't there kind of goading him into, standing up to Lee a little bit about Fisk. And that's new. And I like it, but I feel like an empowered Gaius can sometimes be a scary Gaius, in the sense that, like, you just don't know what he's up to. So now there is a nuclear weapon, nuclear. Sorry. You guys are just going to put up with it. I'll try every single time, and my brain just won't function correctly to let me say it any other way. But now I'm really interested to see the relationship that Rosalind and Gaius have, how that works out, especially with her being sick. I feel like she'd be like, all those things that I didn't do because I didn't feel good, I'm just going to do them all right now and just dump a lot of stuff on the entire fleet. I'm worried. I think that she's a good person, but I do think that her going from this dying person that was part of a prophecy to now just a president and the leader of the fleet, or the colonies rather, I don't know what to expect. Hopefully Adama keeps her in check. I don't know if that's the case, but we'll see. And then, of course, now, who the hell is running things on Pegasus? Because with Fisk dead and then Kane, weeks prior being killed, like, who's in charge of Pegasus? If I'm that person that takes that role, I am scared to death that my time is up. Yeah. With also like the black market trade, it seems like a couple different people were utilizing that. Definitely, Ellen wants her bougie lifestyle. I don't even want to say bougie, but I don't think fresh grapes makes you bougie. But definitely, when you are flying in space and you have fresh fruit and all the alcohol, she's got liquid grapes and she's got physical grapes. She's hoarding the market on grapes. And, Exo Ty just kind of being like, it's almost like I'm trying to keep her happy. Will you leave me alone? But, Lee was also taking advantage a little bit, not necessarily black market trade, but, like he did get the doll for Paya, so there was things that he traded for. He was paying money for Siobhan's services. So him taking out Phelan was definitely, I feel like, doing Tom Zarek's dirty work because, Tom Zarek was like, yeah, he's like, we haven't gotten any supply shipments, since Fisk was last here. Like, you can look at the logs. That could be on purpose, too. That could totally be a plan that Zarek had enacted so he would look innocent, because then when he is over on the Prometheus walking around, he's kind of like, all right, let's get back to business. So I feel like, it could have been a setup from Zarek all along. But, at the same time, I still think what happened might just be better. Especially for little girls on Prometheus. So I don't. Also, another person that you don't want to have a lot of confidence and power is Tom Zarek. So great. Now we have to catch up with Hilo and Boomer and Chief. We didn't get anything from Starbuck. We did get a little bit from Dee, just kind of like telling Lee, like, hey, what is this? And when he didn't answer, no answer is an answer. And, don't pine for somebody who actively isn't trying to make something happen with you. No is a complete sentence. and really no answer is good enough for me. It's like, well, moving on. Bye. So that was kind of weird though, because they had a couple moments, but it seemed like she was still actively involved with Billy at the same time. So I don't want a love triangle between those two. I really don't. Nothing I want less than a love triangle with Billy in it. But, like love triangles, which I don't really believe is much of a triangle anymore, but, like Chief kind of letting go of Boomer and, Hilo being the father of Boomer's baby. I'm sad for Chief, because that's what he wanted with her, but I'm happy for Hilo, and I'm happy-ish for Sharon. She's been through a lot that it's just ridiculous. What has happened to her being imprisoned. I'm kind of over it, and I would like to see where that's going. I'd like to know, I'd like to know this baby. I'm kind of excited for it to be born. So, if it comes out and is speaking in full sentences, I'd be like, oh, Cylon. But, if it's just a baby, great. I don't know why I think that Cylons are superhuman, smarter, they come out robotic, that they don't have any innocence, or they don't have to go through a growth period. That is not true. Essentially, they're humans. I don't know how these models started out. I don't know if they started out as babies and they grew them. But I don't know. I just always think that there's going to be a noticeable difference of oh, that's not characteristic of a normal human baby. That's all. The only thing I could think of is a version of Starbuck coming out with a cigar, and I'd be like, whoa, too much. But guys, I'm really looking forward to getting into this episode. I want more with 6 on Cloud 9 and the device. I'm always loving anytime we get Gaius, but I would like some more space shit. Avi, available on the website. Link down below. But guys, I'm trucking along in season 2, and I haven't been disappointed once. I mean, scared, anxious, sad, shocked, emotional, but not disappointed. Nope. Bravo. Okay, let's get into it.
As soon as I get back to Galactica, I'll send a rescue party.
Oh, Anders!
Say I'm gonna do something, I do it. We have to find a way to jump back to Caprica and go get them.
Kara.
Are we gonna address this? Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, what the hell am I looking at? Colonial mining ship. I'm not gonna pronounce that. 29th day of what?
Cat, this is where BB and JoJo bought it.
Oh, that's not
Come
good.
on out, Scar, you ugly silent son of a bitch. Let's party.
Yeah, well, be surprised when I blows out the part.
This
Yeah,
is
that'll be the
wild. I love space shit.
Hey, does anybody remember the name of Riley's girlfriend?
Was it Kathy?
You guys, what does it matter? Gonna hold a little prayer circle, good cry, the whole thing.
Jeez. Yeah, it would be nice. God. So cold. It's a way to deal with it. I get it. Yeah, it's a dead guy's bunk.
Scar's gonna smoke you like a fine cigar, my man.
Who's Scar? Toaster's Top Gun, deadliest raider in the Cylon fleet.
Wow. They have a nemesis when it comes to flight. All right.
He hides behind an asteroid, and then suddenly out of nowhere, bam. He pops out, blows you to pieces.
Well, if you ask me, I think Scar's a coward.
Or he's just good.
So that's why I'm gonna kill him.
I believe her.
Starbuck, you can barely walk.
I wouldn't call her out in front of these people.
Look who's talking, stim junkie.
Oh, that's not nice.
I wouldn't be calling anybody a junkie if I were you, Starbuck. Not the way you've been pounding back that booze lately. One tie on this ship's enough.
Which one, though? CO or Ellen? Oh, God, has she been drinking that much?
Maybe you should slow down.
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe.
It's not cute. It's not cute. Oh. Katie, she did such a great job in that moment.
Oh, yeah, got it, the Scar. Found your hiding place, you little fracker.
How do they know that it's him? Does he have a scar? Is it a decoy? Oh, that is definitely Scar. Oh boy. Yikes. Wow, what an intro to this episode. Scar definitely looks like the scarier one. Yeah, I don't like, I like a cocky Starbuck, but I don't like a jerk Starbuck. Like, there's no reason to say that to Cat. Although Cat's not really nice anyway. So, just two bitches going up against each other. 49,593. Okay. There he is.
Here he is, boys and girls.
That's a good shot. That's so
There's
cool.
the motherfracker I'm gonna kill.
I don't know. I want him to hang out a bit. I think a big bad is what we need.
This star system is full of rocks and dust. Dratus cannot tell the rocks from the bad guys, so our only reliable system of detection is our eyeballs.
Yep. Cat is an Interruptosaurus. I don't like it.
Why'd they stop coming at us en masse? Is it because we destroyed the resurrection ship?
Starbuck's working on that.
The Scar's probably died and been reborn a dozen times. You may have faced them before. When they die, they're really dead.
So they're trying to be careful.
Not gonna mount mass attacks where they could have major casualties.
Yep. Smart.
It takes months for you to train a nugget into an effective Viper pilot. So if you could bring him back and put him in a brand new body, and when you do it, death then becomes a learning experience.
Wow. That is phenomenal, actually.
You know, there are times when I look at you and I forget what you are.
You're like a big sister.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No touchy. Yep. You don't get to do that anymore. Ugh. I always think of Hilo and Chief, but not like the people that maybe was just friends with Boomer.
Every time he's reborn, he's filled with more bitter memories.
Mm-hmm.
Scar hates you every bit as much as you hate him.
Yep. The thing is, though, is that destroying him, well, again, the resurrection chip. I feel like they'd have to have more than one of those, right?
All that yanking and banking gives you one
vom.
hell of a case of vertigo. And that is what this chair simulates.
I mean, that's a fine game if it's paintball, not live
Not bad.
rounds.
At least you hit the target.
So what's the all-time record?
4 hits on the X-ring.
Who did that?
Starbuck.
I did. Mind if I give it a shot for old time's sake?
Oh god, Cat. With all the experience that Starbuck has, and like to think that they're even remotely equal in skill, it's just
5.
well.
Well, keep coming. Because I guarantee you I will put you down this time for good.
Guarantee you. I mean, knowing that he can't be resurrected, I guess that's good.
Why are you pushing so hard?
Why not?
Kat's just another hotshot kid out to make her bones. Like you were before you met Anders.
Ooh.
You ever think about him?
All the time.
Point.
Oh, shut up.
He's dead.
No, he's not. Not dead. I refuse.
If Scar jumps us out there,
Keep your eyes open so he can't.
That's not the best
but
instruction.
if I screw up and he bushwhacks me, what do I do then?
Come on. They drilled this into you over and over and over again at basic air comp.
Will you be a good teacher, please? God.
Come here. I want to talk to you. Just don't let the Raiders get anywhere near the miners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please.
Go get him, Tiger.
I don't know if that's undermining or just filling in gaps.
That kid needs more than a pat on the ass and a textbook quote about tactics, okay? You want to be a wet nurse, go right ahead, all right? Be my guest. Your call, Kat.
Yeah, it's a hard job. I get it. I just wish Starbuck like had a little bit more patience with them.
Dodge Cat! 8 minutes out! Doctor, on my 6! Oh my god!
Damn. That's upsetting. Oh! Yeah, I don't know how people do that. I don't
I don't even remember their names.
Oh, let's see, there was Flat Top. There was Chuckles.
Oh, R.I.P. Chuckles.
We gotta get where we can right now.
I'll drink to that.
So why don't we?
Meaning?
Why don't we? What? Wait a minute.
Yeah, like, can you stop this, Lee?
Oh, hey, slow down.
He's not Anders. You gotta stop.
What's wrong with you? All right?
Nothing.
You know what? I don't want to know.
Hey!
It has nothing to do with him. Good grief.
Kara, I'm also your friend.
I am hung up on a dead guy, okay?
He's not dead.
Pissing me off. And I don't know what I'm doing.
You don't even know that he's dead. Oh my gosh, girl.
You're fine with the dead guys. It's the living ones you can't deal with.
He's not wrong. Girl, you gotta get it together. How does she have her dog tags when Anders has them?
One of us is gonna have to break away first, and this is gonna be me.
She's got nothing to lose right now. Oh, this is wild. Again, she doesn't feel like she has anything to lose. She doesn't value her own life. I like Starbuck as a character, but I'm finding this very painful. Like, how many times do you have to go down this road?
Bastard smoked JoJo and jumped away in less than 15 seconds. And where were you?
Where were you, Kat?
Flight schedule had you flying lead for JoJo on that patrol, so
Oh.
Why'd you assign Snake to take your place?
She was hungover.
What I'm trying to say, Captain, is maybe if you weren't up all night drinking, Jojo would have still been here.
Give us the room.
I feel like they just need to duke it out like Hilo and Chief did. Like, just let them go one-on-one. Have their lumps out. I haven't really been a fan of Kat anyway, but, like, I mean, she's not wrong.
You see, unlike you, I don't take a bunch of pills and then climb in my cockpit so wired that I can't land the fracking ship.
Points are valid.
Starbuck, you're just a reckless drunk who sends other people out to get killed.
Just pop her one.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You gonna hit me, Starbuck?
Mm-hmm.
You're afraid most of the time, Kat.
You're afraid most of the time too, Starbuck.
So no one will notice that Scar scares the living crap out of you.
He should. Oh! Well, that was unexpected. It's a good right hook.
What's going on?
Little tactical discussion, sir.
Yep.
It must have been lively.
It was. It was indeed.
Right, I'm pairing you two up. Kat, I want you to...
Good team.
Starbuck. Are you okay?
No, never has been. I don't blame Kat for how she feels about any of this. She definitely hasn't been my favorite, but I don't blame her.
Oh yeah, it's gotta be Scar.
And Scar has seen so much action.
Then you remember me, don't you? Alright, Scar, let's see how much you like playing chicken.
Starbuck is such an amazing pilot, but she is so reckless.
I got nothing to lose.
That's what I've been saying.
I'm coming back.
You could still be alive, Starbuck. You're the one that has all the faith in the gods. Like, why wouldn't she have faith that he's still alive? He made it that far in Caprica, where all the Cylons are.
God damn it! I'm gonna put him right in front of you. Do not miss me, fracking stim junkie.
Still Starbuck to her core. I love that Anders is what saved her in that moment. You got him, Kat. That is gnarly.
Hey, Starbuck!
Oh, Kat.
My cup
Really?
runneth dry.
Can't do anything with Adama there. Ty is very happy about that. Be nice. You could clock her, but don't. Not a girl. Champagne in a beer stein. That just seems like sacrilege, yes? I don't know.
Earned it.
It does make me want a beer, though.
To BB. Dipper. Flat top.
She does remember everyone's name.
Chuckles. Shepherd. Dash.
To all of them.
So say we all.
So say we all. Damn you, Starbuck. Such a bitch sometimes, and you're just like so wonderful at the same time.
A couple months ago, I wouldn't have even thought about that. Would have just gone for the glory, hoping I could pull it out of the fire somehow.
It's very Starbuck.
Kicking yourself.
Can't get Anders out of my head. Can't get over this insane hope that maybe he's alive.
He is probably alive.
You got something to live for now. Not just die for.
She's so disgruntled about it too. Well, shit. Okay, so I will say that this show has a way of like showing you the ugly side of characters that you love and adore. Definitely Starbuck, her tendency to be kind of a out of control drunk compared to Ty, yeah. I mean, that's a pretty good comparison, as people not dealing with their shit and just leaning into booze. And I get that, like, that's medicating, you know. Her not showing up for a mission and having somebody else go, and then the wingman dies, and her being hungover, her calling out Kat for like taking stims. Like, yeah, like no one's perfect. Everyone has like kind of failed in their own way. And I've never been like a super big fan of Kat, but she's been around for a long time. So to me, she's a survivor. So I'm like, hey, like this is somebody that's part of our group now. Like they're part of our core. And I really wanted her and Starbuck to like duke it out. Like, you know what? Like, it's just like back in high school when, you know, some girl called you a bitch and you push her into her lockers. I mean, not me, but like, you know, like you deal with it that way. And I'm not saying fighting is ever great, but sometimes it's just, that's the way it's got to go in this scenario. I see, that's kind of like the thing that like really gets me about Starbuck is that like she really does lean a lot on her faith in the gods to like get her through certain things, but then like she didn't want to have faith that Anders was still alive. And Anders survived a very long time on Caprica, where like there's Cylons and there's, you know, it's just radiation everywhere, you know, like there's a lot to like deal with on Caprica, and he seemed to be making his way through that. And there's a reason why she's drawn to him and attracted to him and feels the way that she does about him. And it's because he is a fighter. He is a survivor. Like, you know, and there's that roughness, but that those moments that they're full of heart with each other. And she's able to be vulnerable and open and emotional with him. And like Anders is very important to her, and he's important to me. Like even them just like replaying that scene of them back together in Caprica is just like pulling at my heartstrings. Cause like, you know, that's like one of the rare times that we see her being kind of raw and open and vulnerable to somebody who can hurt her. Lee is not wrong. You know, he even says you can handle the dead guys. It's the ones that are alive that you have a problem with. And you know, her being open and emotional with Anders is a big step for her. I was not happy about the makeout. I was not happy about the almost frack. It's just I was like, no, like, can we please stop this? And Lee's right. He's a friend. He's there to talk. And if you could separate the physical from the emotional, from friendship, then I think there'd be a lot more platonic friendships between men and women, but I don't think that can possibly happen with Lee. You know, Starbuck's like very like honest with him, like there's nothing here. This isn't gonna happen. And it's because of the love that she has for Anders. I want to go back to Caprica already. But the introduction of a Cylon raider that they have named, that they have dealt with numerous amount of times, and kind of like realizing that not having the resurrection ship also affects the raiders. The fact that the raiders are reincarnated or have a consciousness that's passed on, and that they like probably get angrier and angrier and learn not only from the death of every time that they have died, but, you know, like just they remember the pain. And it's kind of like 6 on Pegasus, where, you know, even if she had decided to end her life, that, you know, she would still remember, even if she was in a new body. And I think, again, not having the resurrection ship gives us an obvious advantage, because you don't have them coming out in mass to fight, which I think is fantastic. I can't think that they can't be the only ship that they have that does that. Like, that just doesn't seem logical for Cylons. I feel like there's some everywhere, or there's like a moon that probably has like little domes full of like Cylon closets, as I like to call them, because they just look like they were hanging up. They were like meat suits. Not skin suits or skin jobs. What they call them? Toasters. Toaster, skin job. Yeah. So I think Scar's dead. It looked like it from the wreckage and from the blood that sprayed. That's like what's really interesting to me is that they could really just make it to where it's machines and the ships just blow up and you don't think about it, but they really kind of, I don't want to say go out of their way, but they really make sure you know that there's something organic in those Raiders, and they remind you of that it's not just a machine. Message received. I liked the moment between Starbuck and Boomer, and kind of Boomer having the memories of kind of being like a little sister to Starbuck, and Starbuck kind of being like really mad that like she really cared and she loved Boomer, you know. It's I kind of only think about it as a Hilo Chief situation because they were in love with her, but then, you know, Adama having a hard time with it and Starbuck having a hard time with it, it only makes sense. I liked the friendship that Starbuck and Hilo have. That wasn't really evident. Obviously, in the miniseries, we only had Hilo for a short period of time. But when they met up on Caprica, you know, they were like friends reuniting, and I was like, okay, like obviously they know each other, but like they were friends. And, you know, I like their relationship they have together. It's very sisterly, brotherly. Her like throwing an elbow at the end while they're boxing, I think is just great. I want that relationship for her and Lee. I don't know if Lee has the capacity to do that, because it seems like he would be more than happy to accommodate Starbuck. If she had said, like, Lee, I want to try to be together, I think he would be like, yep, I'm in. So with her, I think, you know, especially with the introduction of Anders, and then Zach, I think there's just too much baggage there for them to ever really, too much baggage there for her to ever really fully commit, I think, to Lee as a partner. And I don't know if her and Kat's relationship will ever be friendly, but I think that there is probably a little bit of a respect there from Kat, because it seemed like they were very cold about how they were talking about the dead. And I realize that that's like how you get through it and that's how you deal with it, because if you linger on it too much, then you become like Starbuck, where you're, you know, angry and broken and leaning into, you know, drinking and just being destructive because you can't deal with what's going on inside your heart and your mind. And it seemed really cold. It felt really cold. And then when her and Lee are sitting there and he's like, you know, sometimes I try to remember their faces and like, you know, like I just can't. And she's like, oh, I can't even remember their names. It's good to know that each and every one of those pilots that she had worked with and that she knew that she was in charge of affected her. We got a couple mentions of Chuckles, R.I.P. Chuckles. Her remembering all of their names just meant so much. That's why I love Starbuck, is because she actually just feels everything. And that's part of her problem, is that she has to tamper it down, because sometimes you can't feel too much in these situations. Yeah, I just love Starbuck. There's things that just drive me crazy about her. She's definitely not perfect, and I just want to reach to the screen and shake her by her shoulders. But at the same time, I also feel that way about Ty. So here we are. Now, there was kind of like, I know it had kind of to do with their mission and they were protecting the miners, but that Pegasus has built a Viper. So that's good. They're replenishing their fleet. They found the ore that they need to build more Vipers. And now with Scar being gone, definitely they're going to get that ore. So that means that we're going to have some new ships. I don't know if Pegasus is going to be like, we'll take the new ones, you can have our old ones. I'm not sure. I think Admiral Adama can just say like, we'll take those. Thanks. He'll probably like share them amongst the two ships because he's a good guy like that. But no real story growth. Oh, we didn't even get Gaius. We didn't get 6. Okay. Definitely a Starbuck story. A little bit of Hilo, fraction of a second of Chief. I want a Chief heavy episode. I love Chief. Oh my God. And you know, more from Hilo. I think he's doing great. The performance that we're getting from Hilo is like, he's such a good friend to Starbuck. He really is. You know, he like does try to like take care of her when she needs it, and, you know, kind of just be there for her if she needs to get it out. You know, her like talking about Anders to him, that means that she really does trust him. And of course he was there for Anders. So, you know, he saw her in that emotional state towards Anders. And I think that I think Hilo is one hell of a good friend. But guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon and up to 2 episodes early. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Were you hoping that Kat and Starbuck would duke it out? Because I certainly was. You know, Kat gets under my skin. But like, I think like she's supposed to, obviously. But like, how did you feel? Like, did you feel like Kat was more in the right? Or like, I mean, Starbuck knowing that she wasn't in condition to fly? Yeah. But like, that's like, you know, going out and drinking all night and being like, oh, I called an Uber instead of driving home. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. But like, maybe don't get that drunk. Maybe take it easy. Maybe limit yourself and just say, I have a mission tomorrow. Maybe I should watch this. I don't know. I feel like Kat was kind of in the right there, and I don't think anyone gets to say that they're the moral high ground in that whole scenario, because the whole stims thing. But I definitely think Kat was in the right to say something. I don't know, in front of everybody. That really bothered me. But you know, Kat's really coming into her own. You know, she started out very much not a great Viper pilot, and now look at her taking out the big bad. Good job. But guys, come back here next week for episode 16. We're trucking along through season 2, and I'm enjoying it. I'm sure we're gonna dive right back into it the closer we get to the season finale, but the straying away from kind of the more religion aspect of everything, like, there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like when it's like really heavy, I'm like, can we please move on? And so I'm very happy with the fact that like it's not just dwelling on that constantly. I don't think it's gone by any means, but definitely it's been nice to just kind of have like character building stories instead of spiritual growth of the entire show. So I'm really enjoying that as well. But guys, come back here for the next episode. In the meantime, funnylittlegalreacts.com, and I'll see ya.